Okay. I think we're getting too hype about sizes here. Bigger, better, faster, stronger. Kind of reminds me of a song, actually.
Faster, stronger.
All right, so Apple made their huge, humongous, universal announcement. I wonder how much it would cost to make an announcement like that. Anyway, about their new Pro computers, which are now built with Apple's homemade chips. Just like Granny used to make her own apples in her garden for making apple pies, right? Apple pie. As always, they're packed with huge amount of better things. So yeah, of course, specs look amazing. And I'm not going to spend too much time here on what is good about this new Macs, because I think Apple's presentation is substantial enough to let you know everything about this in depth. What I want to draw your attention to, though, is what they don't tell you and what you should really be aware of before buying the new ultimate, latest, incredible Apple's M1 Pro and Max laptops. Or is it? Welcome back to PM Productions. I'm Paolo Motta, singer, songwriter, music producer, and so much more. I love technology. I use technology every day for my job, and so I want to talk a little bit about what is happening right now. So a few days ago, Apple released their new Pro line laptops, calling them MacBooks Pro with M1 Pro and M1 Max. Apple is kind of losing sight of language here. I mean, everything seems to be pro now. All MacBooks are now kind of pro if you think about it. I mean, 10 years ago, you would get aesthetically different computers. Anybody remembers their white laptops? That was my first ever laptop. Thanks, Daddy. Now, you kind of get the same display now, and same metal structure, same keyboard, and kind of similar starting points about specs. So in order to make things clear, Apple decided this year to specifically say that what's pro about these new models is not the whole computer, meaning the structure, the display, but rather the chip inside. And how is this chip more pro than an M1 or an Intel Pro? Simply put, you get a different chunk of transistors which have a different architecture, which make up a bigger PC card with more memory, more power, and blah, blah, blah. You can get up to 64 gigabyte of unified memory, and speed is super fast. And, of course, we get a nice looking graph to tell us more about these things that, in depth and so on. And apparently, you also get more efficiency and speed with less power. I mean, that's amazing. You get less consumption, but the same amount of power. That is a great green solution. I mean, everything here sounds simply amazing, stunning. Oh, and I haven't told you about the new display. Thinner bezels, better looking colors, sharper images, and wait for it, 120 Hz refresh rate compatibility to edit heavier video projects. This computer can manage 8K movies and editing no problem. And you can run multiple XDR monitors on the same laptop. I mean, to me, it seems like a miracle, a beast of a machine. Well, yeah, I mean, anytime there's a new Apple announcement, at the end of it, I get kind of the same feeling. Wow, this machine is better than anything else out there, and I must get it. Which is what they want, right? And probably, yeah, it is one of the best machines out there on the consumer market. What I mean by that is in terms of speed, power, but what about the rest? I mean, a computer, it's not a thing on its own unless it has software, and lots of it, especially when you do professional stuff. Millions of third-party software every day are used by professionals to do professional tasks. Okay, I know what you're saying. You're probably saying, but you have so many native apps now for the computer, even pro apps like Logic, Final Cut, Compressor, and so on. And that is true, but they have a lot of third-party plugins to make that special video effect or that sparkling reverb you were looking for that you spent $150 for it. And that is the reason why I bought the last top-notch Intel MacBooks last year, before they removed them completely from the market. Of course, if you're a newcomer, you're starting out fresh, there's no reason why you should not buy a MacBook Pro with M1 chips in it. But if you're someone like me that has used Macs on a daily basis for years as a professional for professional applications with tons of plugins, even if you're running native apps like I do Logic, there's just no reason why you should change it now. I mean, things are too early in the game right now. Software companies are still trying to catch up on Big Sur iOS, for real. Some of them haven't even started working on M1 software. And so you would be left with just a super fast native app with maybe half of your own plugins that you used to use. So yeah, I know guys, Apple spends so much time on making these super sleek presentations, which are amazing. I love watching them. And they know their stuff, right? But professional work isn't just about terms of speed and efficiency by showing it in a nice looking graph. It is also the networking aspect of our jobs. What I mean by that, if you work often with other people and use some of software together, you need to have other people working with the same software you have. And using M1 now could mean to be left out on so much work. I mean, we know Apple has always been a little hefty about compatibility, right? And it's kind of the trademark. We do things different so we can let our machines talk with other machines. So everybody will eventually buy our own stuff or stop working with people with different things. Of course, this will never happen in real life. What really happened instead, people started making third-party plugins to serve these sort of problems. And these are the same third-party plugins or apps that can't run natively on this moment right now on M1 chips. So come on, Apple, stop being antisocial, right? You're making people of your own market be doubtful of buying these new machines. And I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg of what could stop someone from buying a new M1 MacBook. What about hardware compatibility? You see, me as a producer, I work with external hardware every day, whether it's a simple audio card or monitors with DSP and all other sorts of things. So, what if I get into an Apple store, buy my new sparkling MacBook, and can't get any of this to work? I would have to shut my own business down just because I wanted to get an old computer off and buy a new one. Guys, buying a new computer, it's always a very delicate thing. Whether it's just upgrading to a better version of the same architecture, like saying from an i7 to an i9, or simply updating to a new software, a new operating system. I've had all machines running smoothly as butter compared to new machines just because the operating system had a few graphics bugs on the new ones. I've upgraded recently to an i9 full specs MacBook, and sometimes I regret not using my old i7. The chassis, for example, has already been damaged just by simply day-to-day work compared to the i7, the old MacBooks. My keyboard seems to be constantly repeating parts of phrases. My keys look as if they've been used for 5 years. And my computer is not even an year old. So, are these MacBooks Pro a game changer? Guys, in IT, nothing is a game changer. Everything is a little piece of the puzzle that needs to be working perfectly into the team to fit in properly with your workflow. And if it doesn't fit in, it's going to be big trouble. So don't just get hyped about how good everything is or just how powerful everything is. I mean, everything has to fit perfectly in the right place. So guys, it's not about size or about power. It's just how you use it and how it fits in. Thanks guys for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to subscribe, please consider doing so and putting the bell button so you get notified anytime there's a new video like this one. And I hope to guys see you next time. If you have any comments, please write them down below. Let me know what you think about this, and I'll see you guys soon.